My wife extended an invitation to her lover, but it quickly spiraled into a nightmare for her. I have consistently adhered to my routines. I commence my overnight shift at Patterson Logistics at 10 p.m. Keen, and by 2 a.m., I am fully immersed in the rhythm that has supported me for the past 3 years. The warehouse operates with a serene efficiency, automated systems, remote truck drivers stopping for coffee. This is diligent work that ensures America's supply chain operates seamlessly, even while the majority rest. Vanessa often quipped that I was akin to a vampire, flourishing during those shadowy hours. She referred to me as her night owl whenever I would settle into bed at 7 a.m. as she prepared for her workday. Over 2 years of marriage, we had established our rhythms, which felt solid, predictable, and safe. That is the reason for the 2 a.m. The call initially felt effortless. We established this routine, a brief check-in during my break. Typically, she would be cozy yet sleepy, recounting her day or expressing a whimsical idea. I took a seat in the break room, coffee in hand, and proceeded to dial her number. "Hello, lovely. How is my favorite insomniac doing today?" Her voice emerged, breathless and taken aback. "Adam? Hello there. I was in the restroom." Her tone had a quality that caused me to hesitate. In 2 years at 2 a.m., during calls, Vanessa had never appeared out of breath after a bathroom visit. A sense of panic filled the air, a flutter that contrasted sharply with the tranquil demeanor of the woman I was familiar with. "Is everything all right?" "You sound out of breath," I inquired. "Indeed, I am perfectly well. I found myself unable to sleep, so I decided to engage in some stretching exercises, yoga equipment and accessories." She chuckled, though the sound felt contrived. "How is work progressing? Is it a hectic evening?" I observed the vacant break room, my thoughts instinctively noting the peculiarities surrounding me. Vanessa had a strong aversion to yoga. She attempted classes when we first got married, expressed her dissatisfaction repeatedly, and never brought it up again. What could prompt her to engage in stretches at 2 a.m.? Typical Thursday evening. With Johnson away on vacation, I am taking on additional responsibilities. I maintained a relaxed tone, yet there was a change occurring within me. "Are you certain that you're feeling well?" "I am truly exceptional, darling. Feeling quite fatigued." A further chuckle, more restrained. "It is advisable to concentrate on your tasks at hand. I will attempt to rest for a while." "Understood. I cherish you." She responded, "I love you too." The call abruptly ended, leaving me gazing at my phone in silence. After 24 months of marriage, I had never heard Vanessa express herself in that manner. Breathless indeed, but not due to yoga. There was an additional element: remorse, as if an individual has been discovered in the midst of an indiscretion. I attempted to dismiss it, resuming my patrol through the warehouse. Yet the sensation lingered as I navigated the towering shelves, an unrelenting itch that remained beyond my reach. I have developed the ability to discern patterns within this industry. Which suppliers experienced delays in shipping? Which invoices did not align with the manifests? Attention to detail was essential. Minor discrepancies often indicate more significant issues. At 4 a.m., as I reflected on the conversation, additional details began to emerge. In the course of the last month, Vanessa had exhibited a noticeable change, demonstrating increased attentiveness by inquiring about my schedule, my availability at home, and the possibility of taking on additional shifts. She began to take longer showers, dedicating more time to her appearance. Our physical intimacy had evolved. Reduced spontaneity, increased scheduling. It feels more like fulfilling a requirement than establishing a genuine connection. 3 weeks prior, she had brought up the idea of redecorating the living room. During the previous week, the bedroom. New curtains, perhaps furniture. When I inquired about the expense, she dismissed it casually, mentioning that she had been saving from her paycheck. However, I oversaw our financial management. I was fully aware of the precise amount of discretionary income at our disposal. As I completed my shift, the sun began to rise. I noticed 3 missed messages from Vanessa on my phone. Everything was sent at approximately 3 a.m. I apologize if I came across as unusual during our call. Experiencing a sense of restlessness this evening. I look forward to seeing you soon. Having been married for a considerable time, one can discern that excessive communication often stems from a sense of guilt. After she had dented my truck, she sent a dozen explanatory texts before I had the chance to see the damage. After neglecting to pay the electric bill, she meticulously crafted a comprehensive presentation. Vanessa's instinctive reaction to her discomfort was to inundate me with words. As I sat in the parking lot, I arrived at a decision that would alter the course of everything. I had no intention of confronting her. Not at this time. Allegations lacking evidence would merely provide her the opportunity to devise more convincing fabrications. Rather, I intended to confirm what I wished were not the case. The residence appeared serene in the gentle morning light. Our compact yard is impeccably maintained. The blue shutters, which Vanessa had insisted on painting, remain bright and inviting. This was intended to be our initial residence, the place where we would start our family. We had been attempting to conceive for a duration of 6 months. Meticulously coordinating every aspect of timing, discussing the transformation of the spare bedroom, I began to question whether she had been feigning that as well. The research phase occupied my personal time for the upcoming week. As Vanessa slept, I occupied the spare bedroom with my laptop, immersing myself in the intricacies of surveillance technology. Amazon served as my educator, while customer reviews acted as my guidebook. I acquired knowledge regarding wireless cameras, cloud storage solutions, motion detection features, and live streaming functionalities. Each product description resembled the procurement of surgical instruments I wished to avoid using. The psychological aspect proved to be the most challenging component. I was getting ready to chronicle the unraveling of my own existence. To assume the role of director for a film I had no desire to watch. However, systematic research provided me with a focal point, diverting my attention from the increasing realization that my marriage had likely reached its conclusion. I decided on 4 wireless cameras, compact in size yet formidable in capability, delivering crisp video quality even in low-light conditions. A living room is showcased behind a picture frame, offering a clear view of the couch and the front door. The bedroom nestled within the alarm clock on my nightstand. Vanessa never engaged with that aspect. A corridor linking the bedroom to the remainder of the home. A kitchen discreetly nestled among decorative bottles atop the refrigerator, offering a view of the back door. The cameras will seamlessly upload to cloud storage, allowing me to view live feeds directly from my phone. If no progress is made, I would consider removing them and focus on rebuilding trust. If an event were to occur, I would possess irrefutable proof. The installation occurred during Vanessa's work hours, coinciding with my designated sleep time. Every camera placement necessitated envisioning situations I preferred to avoid. My wife introducing another man into our home, our bedroom, the life we have constructed together. Positioning the bedroom camera proved to be the most challenging task. I needed to evaluate the angles, lighting, and the specific elements I would require for documentation. The technical aspects allowed me to maintain a level of detachment, approaching the situation as a complex work issue rather than viewing it as the potential conclusion of my marriage. In the meantime, Vanessa's behavior persisted, evolving in ways that heightened my newfound paranoia. She began inquiring about my work schedule. It wasn't merely about the time I would return home, it also involved considerations of staying late, the possibility of Patterson having weekend shifts, and the extent to which I had become acquainted with my colleagues. Her interest appeared more strategic than genuine. She had also formed an unexpected friendship with our neighbor, Marcus. Marcus resided 3 houses down, a divorced contractor in his late 30s who had relocated to the neighborhood approximately a year prior. I assisted him in moving furniture upon his arrival, appeared respectable, maintained a tidy yard, and offered a courteous nod as we walked by. However, in the course of the last month, his presence had increasingly featured in Vanessa's discussions. She casually noted that Marcus had offered to examine the loose railing on the back deck. A straightforward solution could prevent the need to hire a handyman. Marcus believes it is time to trim those overgrown bushes. He possesses all the necessary tools. Marcus noted that his contractor discount could be beneficial for the bathroom renovation. Marcus, consistently presented as a means to enhance our financial savings or elevate our living space. Consistently noted during moments when I was evidently fatigued and too preoccupied for additional inquiries. Consistently framed as pragmatic solutions instead of social engagements. During my drive home, I began to notice his truck, a dark blue Chevy Silverado, typically stationed on the street instead of the driveway, occasionally present at 7 a.m. Upon my arrival home, there were instances when it did not occur. I reminded myself that contractors often maintain unconventional schedules. However, the presence of the truck began to evoke the sensation of a countdown timer. On a Tuesday morning, precisely 1 week following the enigmatic phone call, the cameras were activated. I evaluated each item from Patterson's break room, observing vacant spaces through my phone screen. The quality of the image was outstanding. Motion detection is highly sensitive, yet not overly reactive. Everything functioned flawlessly, which in some way intensified my discomfort. I prepared to record the unfolding events, yet I held on to the hope that my assumptions were incorrect. On that particular Tuesday afternoon, Vanessa dispatched a remarkably detailed message regarding her day. After work, she will go grocery shopping, followed by a visit to her sister's house to assist with sorting baby clothes. She is expected to arrive home by approximately 8 p.m., allowing her sufficient time to prepare dinner prior to the commencement of my shift. The communication came across as a preemptive justification. I replied in a relaxed manner, yet a realization had taken shape. Vanessa had never willingly assisted her sister with childcare responsibilities. She considered the process to be overwhelming and typically steered clear of such conversations. Vanessa's sister resided just 20 minutes away, yet Vanessa frequently expressed her dissatisfaction with the commute, what prompted her to unexpectedly volunteer for an activity she typically found daunting. Over the course of the next 10 days, I meticulously reviewed camera feeds during each break at work. Vacant dwelling, vacant dwelling, vacant dwelling. A sense of relaxation began to wash over me as I questioned whether paranoia had eclipsed my common sense. It is possible that Vanessa had indeed been practicing yoga. Perhaps her friendship with Marcus was truly innocent. Perhaps I was undermining my marriage with unfounded suspicion. Nothing at all. However, another aspect, the one that had developed the ability to discern patterns in shipping manifests, understood that I was anticipating data to validate my suspicions. In logistics, issues seldom present themselves in a dramatic fashion. Small discrepancies emerged gradually, accumulating over time until the pattern became unmistakable. I was quite certain that my marriage would adhere to a similar trajectory. The alert was received at 11:47 p.m. It was a Thursday evening, precisely 14 days following the installation of the cameras. As my phone vibrated with a notification from the back door camera, a wave of unease washed over me. I found myself compulsively monitoring feeds, observing vacant spaces, and beginning to persuade myself that paranoia had overtaken my thoughts. As I gazed at the alert, it dawned on me that I had been wishing my instincts were mistaken. In the break room of Patterson, I activated the camera app, enveloped by the comforting sounds of the night shift. Remote forklifts, automated conveyor systems, and the perpetually malfunctioning coffee machine. The footage from the backdoor camera revealed Marcus entering my home, seemingly using a spare key. He moved with an air of ease, seamlessly integrating into the surroundings, as if he were a natural part of the environment. He placed his jacket on the coat hook by the door, the very same hook where I drape mine each morning. The hallway camera captured his approach to the living room. I changed the feed to observe him as he made himself comfortable on our couch. He displayed neither nervousness nor furtiveness. He grabbed the remote and began navigating through Netflix as if it were his second home. The clock read 11:51 p.m. I still had more than 7 hours remaining in my shift. With a steady hand, I opened WhatsApp and initiated the creation of a new group. I had been strategizing this for weeks, ever since the installation of the cameras. If I were to unveil Vanessa's betrayal, it must be thorough, irrefutable, and lasting. A confrontation may be misrepresented in the aftermath. Confidential evidence may be disregarded. However, an audience present in real time would render the experience authentic and enduring. I have begun the process of adding contacts. Vanessa's parents, her 2 sisters, her brother, her Aunt Linda, known for her fondness for family gossip, her Uncle Bob, who had the honor of walking her down the aisle, her cousins from both sides, everyone who held significance in her life, everyone whose opinion weighed heavily on her, everyone who would scrutinize her for the decision she was about to make. I named the group Family Movie Night and crafted the description as Special Live Broadcast Tonight. This is an opportunity you won't want to overlook. The bedroom camera was activated at 12:03 a.m. Vanessa made her entrance clad in a luxurious black silk robe, an exquisite piece that I had never encountered before, clearly acquired for this special moment. She was not taken aback by Marcus's presence. She remained composed and showed no signs of guilt. She approached him confidently, nestled into his embrace, and kissed him with a fervor that I hadn't witnessed from her in months. She whispered, "I missed you." I find it quite frustrating to wait all day for this. Marcus responded, his hands deftly maneuvering at her robe's belt. It was worth the wait. "Is your husband working this evening?" "Up to 7 a.m. We possess an abundance of time at our disposal." The nonchalance affected me more profoundly than a physical act of treachery. This was neither a sign of weakness nor a recent error. They were at ease, well acquainted with the routine, conversing about my work schedule as if it were a logistical detail in their ongoing affair. For what duration had this been occurring? How many nights had I spent loading trucks while another man occupied my bed with my wife? I initiated the live stream at 12:07 a.m. precisely as Vanessa guided Marcus into our bedroom. The WhatsApp group boasted 12 members online, late-night scribes perusing their phones before retiring for the evening. Ideal timing. The stream commenced with Vanessa and Marcus on screen, and the group chat instantly erupted with activity. "Could you please clarify what this is? Could that be Vanessa? Who is that individual? Oh my goodness, is this currently live? What are you doing with such determination?" Additional family members gathered as notifications chimed on their devices. Aunt Linda was typing with great intensity. Uncle Bob expressed his surprise with shocked face emojis. Vanessa's mother dispatched a series of increasingly urgent messages. "Please answer your phone at this moment. What is currently taking place? I will be contacting your father." I observed on my phone as my wife engaged in intimacy with another man, all while her entire extended family witnessed the event in real time. Comments continued to pour in. Revulsion, astonishment, indignation, incredulity. Her youngest cousin inquired whether this was merely a cruel jest. Her sister insisted on finding out my whereabouts, and if I was aware of the unfolding situation. At 12:30 a.m., there were 26 individuals in attendance. The bedroom camera recorded every moment with remarkable clarity. It was not merely a physical betrayal. It was the emotional intimacy that caused a deeper pain than any act of infidelity. Vanessa's gentle touch on Marcus's face, her laughter in response to his whispered words, and the fluidity of their movements together suggested a familiarity that felt deeply ingrained. This was more than mere cheating. This constituted a relationship. Marcus likely noticed the buzzing of Vanessa's phone due to incoming WhatsApp notifications, prompting him to request that she silence it. She extended her hand toward the nightstand, her gaze falling upon the influx of messages. I observed her expression shift as the reality of the situation dawned on her. She sat up suddenly, scanning the group chat, her complexion draining of color, even in the soft glow of the bedroom light. "Marcus, it appears we are under observation. Could you please clarify what you mean? My family is able to observe us. A camera is present in the vicinity." She searched desperately, her voice trembling with panic. "A live stream of this event is currently underway. My mother is currently watching this." For 10 minutes, they searched with urgency. Vanessa was in tears, while Marcus meticulously examined every corner. The group chat expanded to 31 viewers, with family members circulating the stream link, each person striving to comprehend the unfolding events. Vanessa's father had joined and dispatched a solitary message: "Gather your belongings and refrain from returning home." I experienced no emotion as I observed their distress. Neither satisfaction, nor regret, nor anger, only a sense of cold completion. Completing intricate inventory tasks and achieving a flawless balance of all figures. All the pieces now fit together: the minor inconsistencies, altered behaviors, and questionable conversations. Everything fell into place within the framework of a prolonged relationship carried out in my bedroom as I toiled through the nights to secure our future. At 12:45 a.m., Marcus discovered the camera concealed within my alarm clock. He raised the small device to his face, his expression transforming from panic to fury as the realization struck that someone had orchestrated this exposure. A surveillance system had been meticulously set up, poised to capture this precise moment for the purpose of their destruction. I was in the process of departing from work, informing my supervisor that I had a family emergency to attend to. The live stream remained active while I navigated through the deserted streets on my way home. 34 individuals observed as Vanessa experienced a total breakdown, while Marcus worked to determine their subsequent course of action. I have parked in my driveway located at 123 EIEM. As I stepped through my front door, I noticed 37 individuals observing me. By the time I had traversed the house, deactivating the cameras and concluding the live stream, Marcus's truck had already departed from our street. 39 individuals bore witness to the utter dissolution of my marriage, and the WhatsApp group continued to inundate me with messages until I ultimately decided to mute it. The harm inflicted was extensive and irreversible. In the era of digital connectivity, shame takes on a lasting presence. Vanessa sat on our bed as I entered the bedroom, still dressed, her phone resting face down on the nightstand as if she couldn't bear to view any more messages. Her tears had ceased, giving way to the vacant gaze of an individual grappling with profound grief. As I stepped inside, she glanced up, her expression revealing a careful assessment of her remaining options. "Adam, may we discuss this matter in private?" I retrieved my phone and presented her with the stream statistics. Confidentiality. 39 family members have just observed you in the company of another man. Before I could conclude the stream, your cousin Jessica captured it and shared it on Facebook. Your privacy ceased the instant you invited him into our bedroom. She recoiled as if I had struck her. This outcome was never my intention. You never intended to be discovered. There lies a distinction. I took a seat in the chair positioned opposite our bed, the very chair where I had folded laundry as she shared stories about her day, where I had observed her prepare for work, and where I had envisioned myself sitting while nurturing our future child. "What is the duration, Vanessa? Is it significant at this point?" "This holds significance for me." She remained silent for an extended moment, gazing at her hands. As she finally uttered a word, her voice emerged as little more than a whisper. Half a year. The beginning can be traced back to your decision to take on those additional shifts during the spring season. Half a year. A quarter of our union. As I dedicated additional hours to enhance our savings for the home improvements she continually requested, she was simultaneously using that time to undermine everything we had established together. The renovations that necessitated Marcus's contractor expertise, the funds she asserted were being saved, her newfound interest in my work schedule, the budget for the bedroom furniture, and the financial plan for the bathroom renovation all seemed to unravel in the wake of her actions. Where did it truly disappear to? Primarily hotels, a selection of dinners. I made a purchase of several items. She made a vague gesture towards herself, likely indicating the luxurious lingerie I had yet to encounter. I intended to repay it. From where will the funds come? You intended to depart from me for him, didn't you? Her silence served as sufficient confirmation. My phone vibrated with a call from her mother, followed by her sister, and then her father. She was not merely losing her husband. Her entire family was severing ties with her in real time. The calls persisted, and I observed her come to the unsettling realization that her safety net was vanishing just as swiftly as her marriage. Marcus has gone through a divorce, she stated abruptly. His divorce was officially concluded a few months back. I am aware. After I began to have my suspicions, I took the initiative to look him up. I had gone beyond merely researching him. I discovered his ex-wife's social media and observed her posts regarding her return to dating following her husband's infidelity. 2 years ago, she shared details of his infidelity, including photos of text messages, hotel receipts, and more. You were not his initial choice, and it is likely that you will not be his final one. Vanessa's expression twisted in anguish as the weight of her actions settled in. She had sacrificed her marriage for a man who had already shown his inability to remain loyal to anyone. The pattern was likely known to Marcus. Identify a discontented spouse, provide tangible support and emotional engagement, deepen the connection into an affair, and then withdraw when complexities arise. He departed from our home the instant he became aware of being observed, leaving her to confront the repercussions on her own. I found myself in a state of confusion. Our marriage had taken on a routine quality, and he evoked feelings within me that were, "Do not." I rose to my feet, feeling an unexpected weariness wash over me, overwhelmed by the monotony of the situation. Please refrain from delivering a discourse on feelings of unappreciation or misunderstanding. For a duration of 6 months, you made a decision each day. Each morning, you met my gaze and deceived me about your whereabouts and actions. You orchestrated this betrayal while inquiring about our future children. Once more, my phone rang. This time it was my own mother, likely informed by the extensive family network that linked our social circles. I chose not to answer the call, yet the interruption served as a reminder that this scandal was extending beyond Vanessa's close-knit family. Our church, our neighbors, and my coworkers who were familiar with her would all be aware of this in just a few days. It is essential for you to gather your belongings. This evening, I provided a response. Where should I go? My parents are not responding to their phones at all. My sister messaged me, expressing that she never wishes to see me again. I stated that it was no longer my concern. She gazed at me as if she were finally perceiving me with clarity after months of obscurity. The supportive husband, who had taken on additional shifts to finance her deceptions, was no longer present. The man who had placed his complete trust in her was no longer present. What was left was an individual who had meticulously orchestrated her downfall and carried it out with remarkable precision. All details have been meticulously documented. This entire plan was orchestrated by you. It was not a question. I sought to uncover the truth. I wanted everyone else to be aware of it as well. She was at a loss for words regarding that matter. She began to pack with a certain detachment, methodically retrieving clothes from our shared dresser as I observed from the doorway. Her movements were instinctive, as if she were sleepwalking through the conclusion of her former existence. Every few minutes, her phone would buzz with another message, causing her to flinch as if she had been physically struck. At 3 a.m., she stood in our living room with 2 packed suitcases, surveying her surroundings as if committing every detail to memory. The house had begun to transform, shifting from our shared environment to a sanctuary that I was in the process of reclaiming. I will need to return to collect additional items. Please make a call first. I responded by suggesting that a witness be brought along. She nodded, recognizing that we were already shifting from a united couple to adversaries in the midst of a divorce process. The legal considerations will be clear and uncomplicated. Adultery remained a valid reason for fault-based divorce in our state, and I possessed indisputable video evidence. I observed from the window as she packed her car and departed at 3:47 a.m. EM. The street lay in stillness, yet I observed the glow of lights emanating from several nearby homes. News had already begun to circulate within our tight-knit community. I had 43 missed calls and more than 200 text messages on my phone. I switched it off and settled into my vacant living room, enveloped by the stillness that follows a tempest. All aspects unfolded precisely as intended. After months of turmoil, I experienced a profound sense of tranquility. Half a year later, I found myself residing in a home that I truly owned, driving a truck that was completely paid off, and enjoying better sleep than I had experienced in years. The divorce was finalized in an exceptionally swift manner. Vanessa's attorney found it challenging to contest the video evidence, leaving her unable to request anything more than her personal belongings. I retained the residence, the savings account, and my self-respect. She carried her shame and a reputation that would trail her wherever she went. The advancement at Patterson Logistics occurred 3 months following the divorce. Management observed my heightened concentration throughout the crisis. I dedicated all my emotional energy to my work, taking on additional shifts and optimizing inventory processes. The increase in my salary allowed me to manage the mortgage payments independently, while the supervisor role provided the benefit of daytime hours. No more sleepless nights, no more uncertainty about what was occurring in my vacant home. I began to date once more with caution and discernment. Sarah had experience in accounting at another logistics firm, had gone through a divorce, and recognized the importance of a measured approach. She valued my direct communication style and my firm stance against any form of dishonesty. Our relationship was founded on transparency instead of romance, which seemed more beneficial. The consequences of that evening surpassed my tactical anticipations. Vanessa had transformed into a local legend, though not in a way that anyone would aspire to be. The response from her family was immediate and irrevocable. Her parents relocated to Arizona within 2 months, unable to withstand the gossip circulating in their church community. Her sisters kept their communication to a bare minimum. Her brother had removed her from all social media connections and declined to involve her in family gatherings. The ramifications in the professional sphere had been equally significant. News had circulated within her dental practice via interconnected social networks, and although they lacked grounds to terminate her for personal behavior, the environment had deteriorated to such an extent that she chose to resign. She had relocated to a city 3 hours distant, where she was employed as a receptionist at a modest medical practice and resided in a studio apartment. Marcus had not made his way back to our neighborhood. His contracting business faced a downfall after other wives stepped forward with comparable accounts. It seems that my video evidence led his ex-wife to recount her own experiences, establishing a pattern that ultimately tarnished his professional reputation. He had relocated to another state, departing with a history of broken marriages in his wake. The intricate moral dimensions of my quest for revenge had never troubled me. I had not harmed an innocent individual. I had merely uncovered the true identity of Vanessa. The live stream served not as a harsh punishment, but as a calculated measure of justice, guaranteeing that her betrayal faced fitting repercussions within our community. I gained important insights regarding trust and verification that proved beneficial in my new relationship. Sarah and I exchanged passwords, schedules, and social media accounts voluntarily. Both of us had experienced betrayal from those we had placed our trust in entirely, and we recognized that genuine intimacy necessitated transparency rather than secrecy. A year post-divorce, I received a friend request that brought a smile to my face. A message arrived from Marcus's ex-wife, expressing her gratitude for the evidence that had contributed to her favorable custody arrangement and alimony settlement. The video became an integral component of the legal record in her divorce proceedings, illustrating a consistent pattern of infidelity that had substantial financial repercussions for Marcus in court. The narrative had evolved into a vibrant entity within our community. Newlywed couples regarded it as a cautionary narrative, emphasizing the significance of honesty. Parents circulated it as a cautionary tale regarding the lasting effects of digital exposure. Church groups examined it as an illustration of how personal transgressions transform into public condemnation when technology collides with treachery. 6 months post-divorce, Vanessa reached out with a solitary message, an apology that resembled more of a formal conclusion to a business deal than a genuine acknowledgement of the unraveling of our marriage. I read it once and then deleted it without providing a response. She relinquished the opportunity for closure when she opted for Marcus instead of our shared future. As I stood in my home on a Sunday afternoon, observing Sarah assist me in installing new shelving for what would soon evolve into our shared home office, I contemplated the profound transformation my life had undergone. The vengeance had not merely obliterated my traitors, it freed me from a deceptive relationship and enlightened me to appreciate genuine connection over mere familiarity. I was not troubled by my actions. It instilled a sense of empowerment within me. The live stream was executed with precision, proportionality, and remarkable effectiveness. Vanessa and Marcus discovered that contemporary treachery comes with contemporary repercussions, that privacy becomes a mere illusion when trust is broken, and that certain individuals possess a level of strategic patience that surpasses their ability to forgive. Justice, I had come to understand, does not always necessitate forgiveness. At times, it is essential to ensure that actions are met with suitable consequences. I transformed my most challenging day into my greatest triumph, and I have never felt more fulfilled by a strategic choice in my life. That concludes today's narrative. If you found this video enjoyable, kindly give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your support enables the algorithm to extend the reach of my content. If you are visiting the channel for the first time, be sure to click that subscribe button. Your support truly inspires me to continue crafting more stories for you. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next installment.